Hi, it's Summer. So I was just watching a bunch of videos on YouTube of people getting pierced at school, like in the school bathrooms and shit. And it just reminded me of the time I got my nostril pierced in the school bathroom. And I just wanted to talk about it, I guess. Share my story of my stupidity. So I'm gonna change the names of the people involved because I don't know if they'd be okay with being talked about in this video. So I had these two friends, Alex and Amanda. Amanda had pierced her own nose, and she had it pierced for a couple years, and she's pierced a couple other people's noses. And Alex pierced her own nose a couple years back, and then she ended up re-piercing it around November. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, I want my nose pierced. And so Amanda tells me, I'll pierce it for you if you want. And I was like, yeah, sure, let me just ask my parents. And I kept putting off asking them because I was scared they would say no. And I really wanted my nose pierced. It's not even the fact that I wanted my nostril pierced because I didn't want it that bad. It's just that I wanted a piercing. Because, I don't know, piercings, I think they're all really cool. And I just wanted one. The one that I really want is my septum. I never really cared for nose rings. I don't think they look good with big noses like mine. Well, it looks good on other people, but I just didn't think it looked good with my big nose. So I told her I wanted it done, and over the next 2 weeks, she kept saying she was going to bring the stuff in, the needle and the nose ring and everything, but she kept forgetting, and then eventually she did remember, and so she brought it to school, and she asked, and this part was kind of funny, we were in the school, we locked ourselves in the bathroom, me, Amanda, and Alex, and we were about to do it, but she's like, do you have any boogers in your nose? And I didn't. She's like, can you go check to see if there's any boogers in your nose? And I'm like, so I just kind of awkwardly stuck my fingers in my nose to look for boogers. There were none, but they're like, we won't judge you for digging in your nose. I was looking for boogers. There were none, but I just wanted to make sure, because that would be embarrassing if she stuck her finger in my nose and touched a nasty booger. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing looking for boogers in my nose, but I could have looked in the mirror like a normal person, but I'm weird. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did not eat the entire day. I didn't eat the entire day. And so she pierces it. Oh, and also, I didn't find this out till after she had the needle in my nose. She used the same needle that she used on herself. And she never cleaned it, and probably on other people. She never cleaned it, she never sanitized it, That's sick, cause, yeah. It's kind of gross, but, she couldn't get the needle through all the way. So she took, her earring. It wasn't in her ear at the time, but she took an old earring of hers. She stuck it through, and then she kind of pushed it through, and then it finally went through all the way, and it made this really loud popping noise, I guess it was my cartilage or something, and we all kind of freaked out, because I don't think that ever happened to her while she was piercing her own nose or anybody else's noses. And so we all kind of freaked out, and I'm like, was that supposed to happen? And we all just kind of jumped a little. We're like, ooh. But she's like, it's fine, it's fine. And she had a nose ring, like a hoop, and I can't really describe what it looked like, but it was kind of straight. I'm just gonna try to explain it from what I remember. It was like straight right here, or maybe it wasn't a hoop. I think it was I don't know, it was like straight, I think, and then it curved. And we were trying to get it in my nose, but I don't know why we couldn't get it in. Maybe the needle was thinner than the actual jewelry, or my nose hole, I don't know, my nose was too small to fit it through all the way, or like too big, I don't know, for some reason. Or no, wait, I think it was too long. I think that was why we couldn't get it through. So she's like, tomorrow I'll bring you a new piece of jewelry and we'll put it in your nose. And I'm like, all right. And then, but then like I started thinking like, oh, and it also started bleeding. It wasn't too much, but it was bleeding, the hole, and I teared up a little. I heard that's normal though for people that get their cartilage pierced or their nose. I don't know if it has to do with all the cartilage or just your nose, but yeah, I heard you're supposed to tear up whenever you're getting your nose, anywhere in your nose pierced. And as I mentioned before, I hadn't eaten the entire day, so I started feeling lightheaded, dizzy. I probably, to people that didn't really realize that I just had a needle stuck in my nose, they probably thought I was like, intoxicated, like drunk or high or something. And my friend was like, dude, you're really fucked up. So he made me eat some oranges or clementines or something. And I felt a little better, but I still couldn't really walk straight. Oh, by this time we're out of the bathroom and we're back in the classroom. And my friend Al, oops, almost said his real name. I'm gonna call him Jim. My friend Jim notices I think someone told him I was getting my nose pierced in the bathroom, because like when I come out, he's like, good job, Summer. And I feel like everyone was probably thinking about like what an idiot I was. But, and that night I asked my parents if I could get a nose piercing, and they're like, no. And my mom had her nose pierced when she was younger, and I think she did it herself. I can't remember. Or like her sister might have done it. I don't know if she got it professionally done or her sister did it or she did it herself. But she said no, and it's not for like the reason you think, like job. I know like the more piercings you have, the more doors you close for yourself, in reference to like work. Like it gets harder to find work the more piercings you have. Even though nose piercings are like kind of common, yeah, she didn't want me getting it, and not because of like the reason of finding work. It was because she didn't want people thinking I was like a slut or easy, which I didn't really understand, because anyone that knows me knows that I'm not a slut. So a nose piercing isn't going to change anything. I love piercings. It's just like a form of self-expression. That's what I see it as. And I don't know, I was like kind of upset. But I understand, I guess. And I ended up telling her I was I ended up telling Amanda that I wasn't going to end up using any of the jewelry that she was going to bring me, and I told her my parents said no, so it'd be best not to walk home with my nose pierced. And for like a couple weeks I was so scared that my parents would notice the hole in my face, because I thought it was pretty obvious, but I guess if you're standing from far away, it doesn't really look like a scar. It looked more like a blackhead, and no one really noticed it. Or maybe I don't know if it was noticeable. No one ever said anything about it. I guess they all just thought it looked like a blackhead, because that's what I kind of thought it looked like. And it ended up closing up after a few months. And I don't know, a part of me wants to get a nose piercing still, but I'm not sure if I'd be allowed to. They never knew about this. Like, I never told my parents about the fact that I got my nose pierced in the school bathroom. But I kind of want double nostrils, but I feel like I look kind of weird with the nose piercing. Wait, is my skin? It was like right there. I don't know, but I feel like it doesn't suit my nose because I have a big nose. This video is long enough already. I think I'm gonna go now. Bye guys, thanks for watching.